Whether it's a product for home or business, farm or factory, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We're 3 miles out.
I can't wait, Bilge. I'm hungry.
Then eat bananas.
Some joke. Some joke. You're very funny, Bilge boy. You're so funny. You eat bananas.
Get your share?
I can't wait. I gotta have some now or I'll go over the south with mine. There are plenty of dumps in Panama that pay almost as good as Harlem.
Strong needles, strong. Harlem pays 100 times more. The law of supply and demand, don't you know? Gil.
Aye, sir.
Aye, sir, aye, sir. Your tight pants, Limey. Why didn't you tell me he was a needle pusher? Haven't you had brains enough to know you don't put on this pipe?
Law of supply and demand, don't you know? Would you want us to go to the Union Hall and all and tell them, please, mister, no dope fiends. The cargo's narcotics. You take what you find in the streets.
All right, throw him over the side. He'll eat up the profits.
Yeah. The Nicolette ain't the nicest lady afloat, but she don't ship with murder in her head. It's bad luck.
Bad luck. You gypsy? You escaped from a circus?
I've walked this lady's deck for 20 years. She's got an evil eye under her deck you can feel through rubber boots. She's got no respect for man or sea, and the fishes stay clear of her bow a mile away. I wouldn't tempt her with murder, my dear.
All right, take him below and shove him in irons. All right, move along, man. Move along. Tide's falling, and we can't wait for any gypsy talk.
Yeah.
Come on, bear a hand. Hey. Tired? Very much tired. Must be 11. The wharf will be lousy with federal men. If we don't get out of here by sunup.
Hey, don't carry bananas.
It's just a front for the big money stuff, Swede. Come on, let's go.
Hey, don't carry bananas. They're an able-bodied seaman, not a spindle-stiff longshoreman.
What do you want, stupid? Cut the longshoremen in two? You want to argue?
Who gets Needle's share if Needles is an iron?
Half.
Half.
Shut up! Back in line, sailor. Who's in command here? The rest of this fine crew can keep their weapons. You may need them.
Who are you, stranger? What's your business?
Strictly my own. But we'll start with an examination of yours. Open one of those boxes. Oh, I'm not a federal agent. The nature of your cargo is no concern of mine, but it might be of yours. Open that box. You there! Drop it! What do you say to this?
Keep your mouth shut, Swede. You put your foot in it.
You talk fancy. You going to give me half. Half what? Half bullets, half grenades? Where is stuff? Where is happy stuff? Give answer.
There is none. It's all ammunition. I was going to tell you as soon as we load it. Don't be fools, men. There's just as much money in carting ammo as there is morphine. Double pay and legal money.
Legal money is legal debt. That's not for me, gracias. ¿Tú crees que yo estoy loco? Te veo cuando vuelva,
Nonsense. Nobody leaves. But Nicolette is sensitive about deserters. I accept you as my crew.
You accept? Who are you?
That, too, is of no account. But at least I don't cheat the men by offering them a fortune running dope, and then turn code to make a deal to carry live ammunition through sub-infested waters.
I'm in command here. Get off my ship.
Your ship?
Wait.
Captain Bilgeboy. There's a name to conjure with. You're no more captain of the Nicolette than I am at this moment, even though the cap does fit me. Why don't you tell them, Bilgeboy? Tell them all. Tell them who's taking over within the hour. Tell them, Bilgeboy. No? Then perhaps I must. Sinners of the Nicolette. Brave sinners, but not as miserable as this lout. He's lied to you again. He neglected to tell you that presently the Nicolette will be boarded by an armchair skipper sent down with a maritime commission.
What? Maritime commission? What did you do a dumb thing like that for?
It's just for the one trip, and we're getting good money.
You get good money?
I had no choice. I had to sign it over. I had to.
You had to. What did they pick on this lousy tub for?
Why don't you tell them, Bilgeboy? Tell them they're not so particular who carries ammunition these days, and why? Because half the ships are being sunk by German subs. Oh, but Bilgeboy wasn't going to be aboard when that happened. Oh, no. He was going to walk down the gangplank when the new captain took over. Walk away with the extra cash. And leave you men to go down in mid-Atlantic. Why don't you walk now, Bilgeboy? You've got the money on you? When were you going to give them their cut? Now?
I haven't got the money on me. I can't. I haven't got
Oh, too much to carry, eh? Or perhaps it looked more respectable stowed ashore in a bank.
Yeah, that's right. It's in the bank. I can't get to it now, but first thing in the morning I can get to it and I'll divvy up all around.
Yes, his bank man.
Look, he got the money.
Carries it with him. $20,000. Now then, who gives them their cut, Bilgeboy? You or me?
Give it to me. I'll give him the cut.
What do you say, man? Should we trust him? No! Hey, Bilgeboy, one more time. $20,000.
It's a lie.
See that you get your cut.
It's a lie. It's a lie. I tell you, he only paid me $5.
Now, who is going to lend me a hand, or do you want me to finish the job for you? One way or the other, it's over the side for Mr. Bilgeboy.
Yeah.
What?
Nicolette will not carry murder, you see. She's enough to carry as it is. Mr. Nichols?
You spoke to me.
I've spoken haste.
It can be forgotten. Well, who's to lend me a hand? Well, I'm not so queasy when it comes to dispensing justice. 20,000 men, and it's all yours on one condition.
What condition?
How much cut you take?
None. What was Bilgeboy's real name?
Skaggs. Jimmy Skaggs.
Jimmy Skaggs. What a strange coincidence. That happens to be my name.
They don't believe this thing.
No? What's your price for calling me a liar? Your cut of 20,000, that's the condition, men. Believe me and take your cut. Call me a liar and your cut goes into my pocket. Well?
You say a new skipper comes aboard. He knows Skaggs, maybe.
Maybe, but wrong. The new man's never seen him. He was flown down from Jacksonville tonight.
Then how did you know all about it? And how do you know about the ammunition in the boxes?
Is there any information that can't be bought for money?
You do not buy me, mister. Let me go ashore.
The gangplank's open. But $1,000 is more negotiable than a bullet in the back. And that's what you'll get before you set foot on that dock. You prefer the money? Good. Go make the count. Are there any more men aboard? Any below?
Only the engine crew, needles, a drug addict are putting on. On the order of the former, Mr. Skaggs, begging your pardon.
See they all get their fair cut.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Not yet, Gil, not yet. What's the count?
22,400.
And that's your count. Go. I'll see to it you get your fair share. Now back to loading. Have everything ship-shape before the new skipper takes over.
All right.
This is your chance to jump ship. Why don't you?
Why don't you?
Me? I like the pay. $1,000 is a lot of garbage to keep it quiet about killing Bill's boy.
Maybe we all make a trip to Davy Jones before this trip is over. I like it. I don't like it.
Steve up.
It will be when we need it. Is it 20 years now, Mr. Nichols?
The name is Skaggs.
Sorry, sir.
20 years. It's more than that. The old tub's still afloat.
She's no ship for you. I'd let her run a bloody wire if I was you.
Not this time, Gil. Not this time. She'll cut the waters I charter and steer the course I set.
She's a skittish old lady, the Nicolette. 3,000 tons of stubborn sass and all in a swinging stern. There's a mind of her own in the old gal. It's warped as her bottom. She'll not steer the course you set. She's not changed, sir. And I'm not tempted to violence.
Go below, Gil. Don't tempt me to violence.
Please, sir. Let me go ashore.
No!
I'll steer away. I'm silent as a heel.
You ship with me. This voyage we make together like the first.
It's a longer voyage than I choose to make.
Where are we going? To know that too?
I can guess.
It's not too safe to guess against the sea and the Nicolette. Come to think of it, it's not too safe to guess against me.
Will you be sailing her, Mr. Skaggs?
That we'll see. I'm a patient man. Yes?
The Navy is on board asking for you, Mr. Skaggs.
Well, we mustn't keep the Navy waiting.
We have to take over a bucket like this. We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Well, the last one I had, you smelled the hot so strong you could taste it in your coffee. We may be lucky. Ah, Mr. Skaggs.
Captain Miller?
Yes, sir. I believe you will find everything in order here, sir.
I've no reason to doubt the Maritime Commission.
Thank you, sir. Under the circumstances, I think it would be well to say a few words to your men. You have not told them yet, have you?
I didn't feel free to do so. But I agree. I think they should know what's in store for them. Men, Captain Miller has something to say to you.
Thank you. Gentlemen. Forgive me. There's no insults intended. I have been called worse names. I will leave you to invent them. However, to my face, I prefer to be called Captain Miller. The fact is that by order of the U.S. Maritime Commission, I have just been put in command of your ship. We are desperately in need of men. We are in need of ships. We take them and we ask no questions. Even the good ship Nicolette. Oh, we are more aware of her than you may imagine. Yes, we know she has carried dope, and she has carried ammo. And she has not been too particular about the flag she flies. I'm sure you men are at home with her. Well, after this one voyage, I shall depart and leave you to your happier business of smuggling and other more congenial activities. But for the moment, we are under U.S. maritime assignment. Our cargo is ammunition. Our destination, despite the general scuttlebutt, is not England. It is North Africa.
North Africa?
Africa! We will be traveling under Navy convoy orders, and you will be expected to conform to my standards of discipline. Is that clear? This gentleman is Mr. Clark. He will be your new first mate. We will sail at once. Mr. Skaggs, are we ready to get underway?
Yes, sir.
Good. If you will please accompany me to the bridge. Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir.
Take over.
Yes, sir. Stand by the cast-off. Stand by the cast-off. All in the gangway. Gangway clear. Let go of your string line. String line clear. Let go of your call line. Stand by your stern line. Cast off your stern line. First time in my experience I've gotten lost in fog aboard ship before.
Experience, Mr. Clark? 5 days aboard the Nicolette?
If she were amphibious, I'd say we were sailing through the streets of London. What's the course?
Your guess is as good as mine, sir.
What?
Look for yourself, sir. You know, the wheel steady as you please. Can't hold that needle still.
Let me take the wheel.
See what I mean, sir? I couldn't very well follow that. We'd lose the convoy in an hour.
Have you noticed this happened before?
Why
Why wasn't it reported then?
After 20 years, Mr. Clark, you're not in small use to report things. You'll find otherwise.
What have you been steering by then?
Offers in me head, trusting to the man upstairs.
I see. How long have you been aboard the Nicolette, Gil?
Since she was a maiden, sir. 1918. She's a feeling for the sea. She always gets me out.
It's no wonder Lloyd's in London wouldn't float insurance on this tub with men like you at the wheel. We will have the compass checked at once. Thereafter, we will sail by it and the Navy convoy rather than your man upstairs.
Oh, sir. You see the convoy?
We will when the fog lifts.
I hope so, sir. I wouldn't want to lose the convoy with a sick man on board.
You ask me, the whole crew is sick in the head.
Aye, sir. That Skaggs is a queer one. If I was you, I'd keep more than weather eye peeled out on him.
Why? What's wrong with Skaggs?
Then I wish I knew, sir.
Take over. I want to check the charts.
Aye, sir.
What's your read now?
047, sir.
Alter course, 7 degrees starboard.
Aye, sir. I wouldn't want to lose that convoy now, sir. We might need help.
Help? What sort of help?
Whatever the convoy's for, sir.
Quit worrying, will you?
Right, sir.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. Not with me.
She steady now?
Steady for the moment, sir. Well, I wouldn't trust her to hold with a dying man on board.
That's your superstition.
Maybe you think he's superstition, too.
Who?
Skaggs. Get rid of him, sir. I'm warning you.
Warn me? Did you say warn me, Gil?
Aye, sir. That I did. There's enough trouble with this fog.
Look, Gil, the fog is a natural phenomenon with a perfectly reasonable scientific explanation. There's no need to invent hordes or hexes to explain it.
Invent him, Mr. Clark?
Yes. This ship has got a course and a cargo, and it's going to be delivered, fog or no fog. Something's not the rudder cable.
Now, will you believe me?
Listen, this is a ship. It's made of iron. It's a mechanism. There's no new room on board for fanatics, and we're not conducting a witch's hour. What happened?
What happened? Was crazy to leave someone with his nice and warm and plenty of kids. No crazy scabs.
What do you have to do with it?
I see him go below with the fire axe. What you think he have to do with it, huh?
What happened here?
I don't know, sir. We hit some flotsam or something.
Have you shut down the engines?
I had to, sir. The rudder didn't answer.
Well, how quickly can you repair it?
I'll have to investigate, sir, and let you know.
Well, hop to it, Wonder Boy. Then tell me how we are ever going to catch the convoy now.
Two fare talks.
Two pairs says $100.
100, and I raise 50.
What's the matter, Carlos? Think I'm bluffing?
Keep it quiet, Indian giver. You're winning back all the money you give us.
Play, and let's talk. What do I have to put in?
150 makes 150. Simple arithmetic. Ask Mr. Clark to teach you mathematics. He's the genius aboard this ship. 6 hours he's been fooling with that rudder. That makes the convoy 6 hours times 9 knots away. How much is that, kid?
I see it. And raise 200.
Oh, don't throw your money away, boy. Be calm, calm like the sea. See you, kid.
Straight.
Not good enough, boy. Ace full.
No, that's enough for me.
Me too.
Well, the fog is lifting, men.
How's Clark and the gang doing with the rudder?
Oh, they're still working on it, man.
Might be better for all of us if the rudder didn't get fixed.
Yeah, that would be a fine thing. We sit here like a duck in a pond and let the sun take pot shots at us.
Maybe that's just what the captain wants.
The captain? He's been like crazy for the last 2 hours. What are you talking about?
You think he's anxious to catch up with that sub, maybe?
Well, why not?
You still with that stuff about the captain is a German again?
I've been righter than you before, Carlos. I might be right again. You think he wants to get us back on course? Who says we've been on course the last 4 days?
What does that mean?
What's it like outside? Warm? Warm? You kidding, man? Been getting colder the last 4 days. We've been headed northeast ever since that fog hit us.
What?
You think we're headed for Africa with a Nazi skipper in command? My guess is we're sitting right off the coast of Brittany now. A very convenient spot with those big sub-pens at Brest.
That's fool talk, Skeg.
Well, what if he's right? It's colder than it should be south of the Azores, that's for
You're
sure.
not talking nonsense, neither.
It's only a guess.
A pretty good guess, though, Carl. 1 trip he promised us, eh? Sure. 1 last trip. Who wants to bet how soon that sub-pack catches us?
I
don't blame you. And if they don't catch us, you'll find us headed straight for the North Sea, and after that, barbed wire for all of us. Maybe you like barbed wire. I don't. I don't like no barbed wire.
Warning! Warning!
Well, what is that? The rudder effect?
Sounds like it.
We got to go up.
Sure, we go up.
All right, back to your stations, men. We're ready to sail again. I ordered you men back to your stations. I don't want to have to say it again.
Mr. Clark,
Yes, sir.
send Mr. Skaggs up to the bridge.
Yes, sir. Gil, take over for Skaggs up on the ridge.
Aye, sir.
Well, we didn't even thank you for fixing the rudder. That's gratitude from your captain. We will skip the gratitude and run this ship under proper discipline. I ordered you men back to your posts.
We heard your orders, sir. We ain't looking for trouble. There's enough of them on the Nicolette already.
What kind of trouble are you talking about? Well, speak up. The convoy. Who made us lose the convoy?
No one said it was lost.
The men do. And they want to know who cut the rudder cable.
The rudder cable cut when we hit some wreckage back in the fog. Now get back to work, all of you. We need steam.
We're not raising steam to sail to Germany.
What?
I was a skipper myself once, and my reading tells me we're headed for North Africa, not the North Sea.
I'd be a little careful what I was saying, Mr. Skaggs.
Back to your stations, men. I'll talk to Mr. Clark.
I give the orders, Mr. Skaggs.
But when do they obey you, Mr. Clark?
I hope you're not trying to start trouble, Mr. Skaggs.
Started already. Started as soon as you came aboard. Did you know Miller before you shipped with him?
No, he picked me up at the hiring hall in Panama 2 hours before we left. Why? What is this?
His name's not Miller. It's Müller, with a German accent to the name.
So?
He's not the man sent down by the commission. I know the real Miller. Knew him 20 years ago. This man's an imposter.
If you knew this, why didn't you speak up right away?
To whom? To him and get thrown overboard? Besides, I wasn't as sure then as I am now what he's up to.
And that is?
One of two things. Either he's heading us into a sub-pack in the Bay of Biscay, or taking us straight to a German port.
I'll have to have more evidence than your word, Mr. Skaggs.
So you should, Mr. Clark. So you should, but take your bearings.
Don't wait too long, I warn you. If you do, you may find you waked up a little too late.
Mr. Clark!
Yes, sir.
We need all the speed we can get if we have to take that convoy.
Yes, sir.
More speed, Mr. Clark? Herr Muller's in a hurry, it seems.
We should reach the convoy by tonight at the latest. If we don't...
If we don't, then it should be quite simple. We'll know our captain's name.
Vidal.
Now that you've seen part one of Mutiny on the Nicolette, let's turn to our Westinghouse program and Betty Furness. How to clean your TV screen. All right, suppose we see how it's done.
Well, keeping dust off the surface of your television screen is a fairly simple matter. A few whisks of the dust cloth, and it's clean. But when you're getting rid of the surface dust, don't you wish that you could just reach behind that screen and clear up all the interference that spoils your television viewing? For instance, when an airplane flies over your house, you probably get a flutter effect like this on your screen. Don't you wish you could clean that up? And when someone turns on electrical equipment in your neighborhood, the chances are that you get streaks like these. Well, they certainly don't add anything to your enjoyment of the show, do they? And then there are other kinds of interference that cause your picture to flop over like this, and well, that's pretty annoying, isn't it? On most television sets, interference is apt to spoil your picture at any time, and usually at just the wrong time. But on this new Westinghouse Wellington, and on every new Westinghouse television set, there just isn't any interference because of the sensational new Westinghouse development called the electronic clarifier. Now, for the first time anywhere, you get clear pictures that stay clear at all times. The electronic clarifier eliminates all the types of interference that you get on your present set. And, as a result, Westinghouse gives you pictures with no streaks, no flutter, and no flop over. And you get those clear pictures so easily on a Westinghouse television set. The famous single-dial control brings you perfect pictures, brings your sound and picture in locked together, and they stay locked in tune. And just look at the size of this screen. Now, you'll really enjoy television on this huge 20-inch screen. I'm sure that once you've watched television on a new Westinghouse set, you'll realize what you've been missing on your present set. You can't really appreciate how clear a television picture can be until you've seen the picture on this Westinghouse Wellington. So visit your Westinghouse dealer tomorrow and have him show you this wonderful big-screen Westinghouse set, the only set that gives you the amazing electronic clarifier. And, by the way, the holidays are almost here, and don't you think that this Westinghouse Wellington would make an ideal Christmas gift? Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
And now let's return to Westinghouse Studio One and Mutiny on the Nicolette.
Now.
1835.50.
Second sight, 70, 46.30.
No weather for speed. Feels like a gale whipping up.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, I'd call it. I don't like these hog island boats. They were put together with spit.
Must have been good spit on the Nicolette. Oh, she's a charmed boiler. The way she's put together, you'd think she would have split down the middle on her maiden voyage.
Maybe she will yet.
Oh, you too, Mr. Clark. You're the last man on board I thought would turn superstitious.
I'm not. I only believe in figures, and they tell me...
Figures? What kind of figures? Petticoat figures? In your case, excuse me, I don't believe it. You are in love with fractions, and you are a fraction of a man.
That may be so, but figures don't lie.
There's an old saying, Mr. Fraction. Wer liebt nicht, Wein, Weib und Gesang, bleibt ein Narr sein Leben lang.
German, isn't it?
International. Translating, he who loves not wine, women, and song remains a fool his whole life long. Don't be a fool, Mr. Clark. And don't think I am a fool. You think I do not know you are pumping me ever since we lost the convoy this morning? Yeah, sure I am a German. Proud of it. German from Wisconsin.
And why are we off course 220 miles to the northeast?
Because I don't like submarines, even German ones. By now, our convoy to North Africa is through the submarine bank. The Germans are not as stupid as you think they were waiting for. And now they are waiting for stragglers like the Nicolette, of which, Lord help us, there are a few in every convoy.
You seem very certain where these German subs are and what they're thinking.
Natürlich. The Gestapo told me. I will tell you another secret, straight from Hitler's mouth. I'm an old and tired man, and efficient boys like you bore me. So, now I go to my cabin. I leave you to keep on course.
What course, Captain Miller?
For Liverpool, Mr. Clark, verstehen Sie, comprenez-vous, understand?
No, sir, I don't understand. Our sailing orders are for North Africa. If we're to keep that course, I demand to see those sailing orders.
Have you seen our sailing
No.
orders? No, but you would like to.
Yes, sir, I would.
Yes. Well, that is entirely at my discretion. And my discretion says no.
I demand to see those sailing orders.
Mr. Clark, you are impudent. Demand. I shall put you in irons. But I will overlook it for this one time. You will bear in mind that I am the captain. I am in command. I set the course. You steer it. Now, I go to my cabin. You may call me when you sight the coast of Ireland. Good night.
What did he say?
Not enough.
How about the change of course?
He had his sailing orders. They gave him discretion, he said.
Did you ask to see them?
Yes. He refused. He's within his rights. He's the captain.
Captain of what ship, what country? Talks Germany, thinks German. Who lost the convoy for us?
The fog was his excuse.
A very convenient fog.
You trying to suggest, Mr. Skaggs, that Captain Muller had the fog delivered up on a broomstick?
Don't insult my intelligence. This is my ship. And where her safety is concerned, I don't take orders, I give them.
That sounds very much like mutiny, Mr. Skaggs.
I don't frighten at a dirty word, and I don't call it mutiny when it's against a man who sabotages the steering gear of his own ship.
What are you talking
That wreckage we were supposed to see yesterday. Where was Captain Muller when the ship went out of control?
I don't know.
Oh? Well, I do. Down in the hold with a fire axe in his hand.
What?
Hacking away at the steering gear of his own ship. That's what your wreckage was.
Did you see this yourself, Mr. Skaggs?
Proof is it you want. Proof. Eyewitnesses. Ask them.
I saw him. I saw him do it. And so did Karloff.
We tried to stop him, but he tell us to keep our mouths shut. He promised us money on girls when we get to Germany. But I don't want money on girls so bad no more.
Now, will you join us? Or you're going to let Captain Miller laugh in your face again?
Needles.
needles. It brought bad luck to the ship. God rest his soul.
He killed him. Miller's the one who killed him and brought bad luck on us. He killed him when he lost our convoy. Murder! Nancy, murder! Somebody! Somebody don't stop one more! Right on the German!
Shit, Mr. James, what is German? What do you know? You wanted proof. There's your proof, Mr. Clark. Man your battle stations. Your captain, he's in his cabin. He won't be. RSVP. What? They got your invitation. They're your friends.
400 yards!
It's German, all right.
I'll tell the men to hold their fire.
Your orders, sir?
Each of them.
Yes, sir. Hold your fire! Any particular reason to hold our fire?
None that I have to explain to you, Mr. Skaggs. Go below. Go below. Give me your revolver.
No, sir. Why don't you shoot?
300 yards!
I'll tell you why you don't, because my men would string you to that boom where you belong, Nazi.
Your men?
I've taken over. My first job is to sink that sub and put you in irons.
Fool! You fool! If you fire on that sub, she will submerge and put a torpedo through your bottom. You can't sink a submarine with cat pistols, and that's all the effect your machine guns will have on her.
So we let her come alongside and take you off for safety and then stand off and sink us? Ha! Get below!
200 yards and bear it down! Don't shoot it short now. Don't listen to Skaggs. He will kill all of you. 100 yards!
Oh, why didn't you wait? But they were almost on top of us.
A lot of good that did.
But I killed them. Look, I killed them.
Sure, you killed them. 2 lousy men and the rest safe under a hatch. Look, you fool. You died. Now what have you got to shoot at? Steel conning tower. Take it below.
Bad luck is on us now. She's submerged, but she'll be back with a torpedo. Bad luck like a barnacle is on the Nicolette.
Well, are you convinced now, Mr. Clark?
I guess I am.
Well, that Nazi won't strike one of my men again. You can serve as first mate or go into irons with Miller. There go his friends. You won't see that periscope again today.
They'll be back.
You think so? Then why don't they come back now and sink us? I'll tell you why. They won't waste a torpedo on us with a valuable Nazi like that aboard. Get the ship back on course.
Yes, sir.
We're headed for the British Isles, men. We'll turn Captain Miller over to the authorities. Stay at your battle station.
Very good, sir.
We're going to have to pay for this. When we land in North Africa, we're going to have a lot to answer for.
We'll never get anywhere near North Africa, Mr. Clark.
You think they'll be back too, then?
Ted, I don't know. But listen to me, Mr. Clark. And don't think this is out of superstition. We got to get Captain Miller out of arms, or we'll all go down with the Nicolette.
Free Miller, Muller, whatever his name is, Skaggs will throw us over the side together with needles.
Take over the ship, Mr. Clark. Don't leave it in Skaggs'
Are
hands.
you berserk?
We're not sailing for Africa, Mr. Clark. I know. We're headed for Galway in a killer on Charlotte.
Let's go, Hugh.
You don't believe me? All right, then. Listen to this.
What's that?
Come inside here, sir. Please. Captain desert ship, October 15th, 1918. The American freighter Nicolette, 3,000 ton, Ran afoul Kilrun Shoal southwest of Galway port last night. The captain certain a Nicolette was going to be smashed on the infamous Kilrun Shoals abandoned ship. When the captain's lifeboat was clear of the ship, she miraculously rode the wives and sailed into Galway unattended by the skipper. The seas off Galway are being searched this morning for the unfortunate captain in the hope he's still afloat from one of the Nicolette's lifeboats. The owners are anxious to retrieve their lifeboat, but would make no statement of concern regarding the safety of the captain of the Nicolette. Captain never got a ship again.
Who was this unfortunate captain?
His real name is Nicholson. You only know him as Skaggs. He walked the beaches for 23 years. 23 years tomorrow. October 15th. Stay away from the Kilrun Shoals.
I don't believe it.
You will, Mr. Clark. You will.
Those corruptible bodies that dwell in him should be changed and made like unto his perfect body, according to the mighty workings whereby he is able to subdue all things unto himself.
Amen.
Amen. Sew up the canvas.
Carney pass the needle through both nostrils of the dead as is customary.
Oh, come now, skip it. Back to your battle stations. That supper will be back with the daylight.
We've got to close his nose. That's so there'll be air in him when he hits the Davy Jones locker.
That's superstition. Sew up the canvas and forget it.
But it's customary.
Customary, my foot! Sew him up and over the side. Wait.
Your first mate on this ship, Mr. Clark, and I respect your desire for discipline. Although it's not in the regulations, I think Mr. Gill is correct. There are certain customs of the sea we must all respect.
Like mutiny?
Through the nose.
Good. Mr. Needles is ready for Davy Jones.
May God have mercy on his soul.
Torpedo! On your bow station! Torpedo direct starboard! Give me a house! Hard, let her ride! No, wait! Let her ride! Too late! He's ready to meet you! Land the lifeboat!
Come on, you torpedo! Come on, right through the belly of the Nicolette! This is your day and mine, torpedo! Come on, come on!
He's crazy! What's with him? Sky!
Take it, you Nicolette! Right through your dirty bottom!
Hold it, men, hold it! She's going under! She went under! The torpedo went under!
Right under! Right under the ship and up on the other side!
It's a miracle! Mamma de Dios, it's a miracle!
No miracle. But the devil's own ship. Heaven help us with Satan himself at the helm.
All right, Nicolette, all right. But we'll meet again on the Kilway Shoals. Thou didst blow thy wind. The sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters.
Now let's pause a moment and look at our program again. Something missing from this iron? Well, it looks like the front of the handle's gone.
That's right. You'd expect the handle to come all the way down the front like this, wouldn't you? But not in this sensational new Westinghouse iron. You'll find this new open-handle iron is the easiest thing that you've ever used. It's easier on your wrist, it's easier on your hand, and it's easier on you. Let me show you why. It's easier on your wrist because there's nothing to get in the way of your thumb. Your wrist is relaxed and free to move naturally. And there's no strain when you roll the iron back on its heel rest, and you never have to lift it. It's easier on your hand because it fits your palm. You don't grip the open-handle iron when you're pressing down. Your palm takes all the pressure comfortably, and your fingers are always relaxed. You even steer this iron with your fingertips. It's cooler on your hand, too, because there's nothing to carry the heat from the front of the iron up to your hand. And this new open-handle iron is easier on you, too. For instance, this all-around button edge makes it so much easier to iron between, under, and around the buttons. And then, here's something that's wonderful. The open handle makes it possible for you to put the iron right down deep in the pockets like that. Now, isn't that a neat trick? And that isn't all. Here's another exclusive feature. The heat control on the open handle iron clicks into position. You can hear it and you can feel it. Now that way you always know it's set just where you want it. Go and see this amazing new iron tomorrow. And it's so beautiful, too. It even has a trim of 24-karat gold plate right there. And then you try it, and you'll agree it's the easiest iron you ever used. Remember, you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We return now to Westinghouse Studio One and Mutiny on the Nicolette.
With us. He's badly, but not so crazy to want to die. Gil figures we're right here by now. Maybe 15 miles at the coast of Galway. So you see, there's not much time. This 5 or 6 miles is Kilrun Shoals.
This is time to turn back.
Turn back? Turn back where, stupid? Back to Hoboken, Panama? You think we got fuel and water to go back any place but to hell?
Not so loud.
All right, all right.
Not on here. I suppose we can go to here, in Ireland. We have enough fuel to make it here.
Yeah, that's right, but somebody better check the tanks.
So, it's a neutral port. And if Miller is a German, we can go free for the mutiny.
You say I shouldn't hit you. Carlos, you're so stupid you forget your own lie. Miller is no more German than you are, you libero from the Antilles. This was Skaggs' idea, and you went along with it. Job now is not to go along with Skaggs.
But there's Miller.
What?
Oh, excuse me, sweet. I don't mean he's out there. I mean we can dump Skaggs and take Miller back.
Smart boy. You take Miller back. You think he take you back, too? Sure, take you back to jail. You shut up and keep lookout.
Wait, man, wait, sweet. Now, the kid got a point here. Maybe Miller will forgive us if we set him free.
You set him free.
Why pick on me?
Because you want a hole in the head from Skaggs. Nobody else.
He's headed for the bridge.
Bring
Come on,
it up.
Sack, Mr. Clark. I'll take your watch. I can't sleep anyhow.
I got a bit of insomnia myself with ports on here. Besides, it's near time for me to relieve Gil. He's been doing double duty at the wheel.
I'll take his duty.
No, thanks. I expect you need sleep yourself.
Ha! I know what you're thinking.
Do you?
You don't trust my conduct of the ships. It's all too queer for you.
Not entirely. What happened to that torpedo was not altogether a mystery.
You don't think there was anything mystic about the torpedo diving under the ship?
No. I like to believe myself a modern man with a couple of practical tools in his hand, like a screwdriver and a compass. And that's all the torpedo is essentially made of. But someone along the production line, either by error or sabotage, turned the screw too tight or set one of the rudder cables cockeyed. So we were spared. Until someone else came along and threw a monkey wrench in the works.
Forgive me, Mr. Clark. I'm not a practical man like you.
What was it that was said, Horatio? There are more things in heaven and earth.
What I don't understand is why you were so anxious for that torpedo to hit us.
So that's what's in your craw. I pity you, Mr. Clark. Your only tools are a screwdriver and a compass. The tools of a novice, it seems. But give yourself 20 years. Give yourself the decades that I've been on the water. And you'll find that you too will assemble a strange assortment of intangibles in your sea chest.
I've got a pretty good supply of mutiny and madness.
Madness, Mr. Clark? Oh, no. There are ports of call for every sailor, not marked on the Navy charts. They're written in invisible ink somewhere here. Sit there and wait. And it's worth every risk to a man to reach them, even the risk of you.
You expect me to believe that?
No! But have you any choice, Mr. Clark? Mutiny is not in your book.
Mr. Clark, a weather report just come in. The 60-mile gales moving up the coast of Ireland, but still time enough to turn off.
What's that?
That storm reported, sir. You'll request permission to alter course.
Request permission? That's inaccurate. I've seen where the wake is already altered it. Go below, Mr. Clark. I'll take your watch. I order you to go below.
Yes.
Bill, turn her back to her appointed course, north-northeast.
The kill shell?
The kill run show.
Yeah.
No? Why, Gil? Why?
The shells is bad enough and decent, whether it be a mountain of death in a 60-mile gale.
You got through the shoals safely once before. Put on your rabbit's foot and you'll get through again. Turn on north-northeast.
It's a suicide.
Aren't they all suicides, Mr. Bill?
What do you mean, sir?
Refuse to obey my orders, you committed suicide. Your turn, Nicolette. Your turn.
The Gale must be off duty by now. Clark at the wheel. Let's go.
Someone's coming this way.
What are you men doing down here? We're heading into a bad storm. If you want to save your hides, you'd better hear me out.
We got our own plans about that.
What are they? If you're out to get Skaggs, so am I.
It's not for officers, not my way. We do this, we take over.
Then what? What port do you dock with murder and mutiny on your hands? There's a better way than that.
What?
Release Miller.
That Nazi? And have him steer us into another sub-pack? No.
Is he a Nazi?
We'd see him hacking at the rudder cables. Carlos see him too.
Did you call? Did you? Or did Skaggs pay you off for that, too? How much does Skaggs put in your minds the same as he did in mine? Miller's our only chance. We've got to take it. Come on, we'll talk to him together. But we've got to talk fast. The storm's not waiting.
What do you say?
I think. Yeah, we go.
Come on, let's go.
Your turn now, Nicolette, your turn now.
Now did blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. My sack is lead in the mighty water.
Back! Back, or I'll throw the grenade!
Heads! Will let me through on the bridge?
No! No!
My lord, Mrs. Hanks. The men are mentioned.
yourself up quietly and let me steer the ship away from the shoal.
No, she'll ride the shoal. She'll break on the shoal.
Hands, let it by.
No!
Our only chance, and
No!
I'll take it.
No!
Roll over the side, it's your last chance.
My last chance. Yours, Mr. Clark. Abandon her as I did and let her laugh too. Laugh, Nicolette, laugh for the last time. We have a date on the show.
You can't make us all pay for the Nicolette. You can't kill us all. Throw it off the side.
Abandon her and let her laugh at you. Laugh, Nicolette, laugh for the last time. Break now. Break on the show.
She'll kill him again. Listen, Mr. Clark. The ship is laughing.
No, Carlos. It's the wind. And the wind doesn't laugh, it cries. I hope the old man upstairs takes pity on him and lets him rest.
This is Paul Brinson saying good night for Westinghouse, makers of more than 40 million products for the American home. Join us next week, won't you?